Hey, it's Eric G. Around the House is sponsored by Baldwin Hardware. For 75 years, Baldwin Hardware has been known for its first-class quality and craftsmanship in door and cabinetry hardware. As an alumnus of the Baldwin Hardware Design Council, I can say I have seen the details and quality from design to the finished product. If you're looking for a new style and old-world craftsmanship, I can tell you there is only one Baldwin Hardware. Check out what would look great in your home at baldwinhardware.com.
Get you on the radio, yeah, you gotta get on the radio. It doesn't take a long time.
Gotta get on the radio. Welcome back to Around the House with Eric G. I'm Eric G.
I'm Dane Vodder.
All right, we're having a good time in the studio today. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday podcast special. This is, well, quite frankly, hopefully one of the last one of these we have to do because we've got brand new content coming up every Saturday. And today at 1:59, you'll want to check out Facebook for more information.
Big news.
Big announcement, big news. It's kind of the reveal a little bit of our remodeling we've been doing over the last 3 weeks.
Of what we've been teasing both on the show and on Facebook, and we're going to kind of come clean with what we've been talking about.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's funny, and I'll leave it at this. When one opportunity kind of closes down, another greater one opens up. That's what happens. So we'll talk about that later today. So stay tuned to that. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us on Around the House with Eric G. This is where we talk home improvement every Saturday and maybe even every Wednesday on a little bit of the midweek special. But thanks for joining us today. This is our 31st birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Way to just surprise me with that one. I had no idea.
I know. I dropped that one on you. So this is our 31st birthday week of Around the House with Eric G. Now, it hasn't been Eric G for the entire time. But, you know, there was Bob before me, and there were two other hosts before that. So every one of them did their stint, and now we've got the torch, and we're running with it. And we got a good gallop going on right now.
We are running.
Yes. So there's some exciting stuff coming ahead, and over the next few weeks, we'll be talking about a lot of that. So new exciting partnerships. Anyway, great news. So more importantly, we're not going anywhere. So stay tuned for that. So, yeah, it's our 31st birthday. So, we should have a birthday party here.
I'll toast to that.
Yeah, we'll toast to that. I love it. All right. Well, it's that time of year, springtime. And, I mean, it's beautiful one minute here in Portland, the next we got downpours. Today's a good example of that. But here's one thing that I noticed just around my yard when I was out doing stuff. And this week I was playing with my new Greenworks power tools.
Those are the battery-operated ones, right?
Yeah. So you can get them at Lowe's or other Greenworks certified dealers out there. I really liked it. I had a lot of fun this last week. I was out working around, and we had to do some shooting for some video stuff, which you got to see some of the early stuff. We're having some fun with that. But the cool thing with it is I actually mowed my lawn with a battery-powered lawnmower for the first time. And I don't have a huge lawn in the front and back, but I got enough. And I was surprised. It mowed it really well. I had high, fairly wet grass because I gave it, 8 or 9 days before I'd mowed it from the last time it was mowed.
Mm-hmm.
It only used about 25% of the battery, so it could have gone a lot longer without having to grab another battery or recharge it.
So anyone who has a larger lawn that may have shied away from the battery-powered tools, this is something you might want to look at now.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a solid lawn that's about a quarter acre, I think this would be pretty close to handling it pretty well and still have a little battery left. But the cool thing is if you tool up with other tools, you get more batteries, or you can buy another one of the heavy-duty batteries that goes in the lawnmower. And, when it doesn't take that long to charge it, you can actually work with that. So I was impressed with it. So
how long does it take to charge a full battery?
Hour and a half, depending on which battery you're using.
No different than a cell phone.
Yeah. So it's like charging your cell phone back up again. So I was impressed with it. I thought it was really cool. And I had I got to play with the lawnmower, string trimmer, backpack, leaf blower, and with the hedge trimmer.
Okay.
So
anyone that you liked, personally liked more than the other?
You know, they all do different things, so it's hard to do that. But I think the lawnmower to me was the most impressive. It worked really well. I'd have no problem buying that and spending the money on that lawnmower. I thought it was a great value. One of the things that was cool about it is it's quiet. All you hear is the blade moving, which there's no engine. Didn't have to go up and get gas. As long as it's plugged in, you know, your charger's plugged in, you got a thing charged up, you're good to go. And the other thing is, too, is that you can drive it around with the self-propelled part of it without the blade turning.
Oh.
Because the motor doesn't have to be turning so you can use the motor to run it around, which is cool at my house because to go into the backyard, you're either going across river rock or you're going through bark. Either way, if the blade's spinning, that sucks.
Yeah, and you don't want to spit that out everywhere.
No, it's just going to go everywhere, so that's a hot mess. But thanks for Greenworks on that. You're going to hear in the next 6 weeks, we're going to talk a lot more about Greenworks, but I just kind of wanted to give an introduction to those guys. So I've got kind of a plan for some reveals. We've got 4 videos that we did that Sparks and I did with my crack video team. Kind of fun.
Quality things.
Yeah, we're having some fun. So stay tuned for that coming up. That will start next weekend. Okay. So, all right. Well, I wanted to talk about outside because one thing, you know, I was barbecuing a couple times this last week and this last weekend, and I noticed the wasps were just starting. I'm like, I was
going to
saying
spoil
bad
your
things.
summer if you let those stick around.
See, that's the problem. And if you let them start going, building a nest, so what did I do? I stopped and went and got my trap out and cleaned it up. I'm like, I'm stopping everything right now. I got a hanger outside that was an old plant hanger from, you know, previous people that lived here. It's perfect place to hang that where it is. And so I went, got it cleaned up, reloaded it because I'd already bought last fall the reload kit for it.
Okay, so you were ready.
I was ready for it. All ready to go. Got it loaded up on there, and it's hanging out there now. I've already got a couple in it already. And it's early for wasps, but I noticed they were coming in the vent hole of my upstairs window. You know, the little seep vent?
Yeah.
They're making a nest up there, so I'm going to have to get the wasp killer out and make sure to hit around that opening so they don't keep going back in there. But the trap's going to do it. But now is the time, guys, especially if you've got restaurants or anything else like that. I mean, I love Helvetia Tavern for burgers.
Oh, yeah.
But, man, I was up there last fall, and it was trying to sit outside in the patio. It was uninhabitable. And I'm not scared of them. I hate getting stung by them. But I tell you what, I mean, I'd be sitting there and with a beer and I have 5 or 6 flying around my beer.
It's a huge annoyance that
It
isn't
just
necessary.
pisses me off. I just can't handle it. So it's like, nope, not working. So it's good to get them under control now. So that way when they're not bigger later. If you do it now, you can change reload the traps a couple times and you'll keep them away. And what I like about these traps is they're not going after the bees. I got no problem with the bees.
The bees serve a purpose.
They do. The wasps and hornets and yellow jackets, you can get out.
Yes.
You're not invited to this party. And
this food is not for you.
Yep. You have been 86th. So anyway, that's a good one. Now, here's another thing. You know, when I lived in Lake Oswego, I had a canal that went down the back of my house. Mm-hmm. And it was the canal that filled the lake. That was the one that they used
from the
overflow
Tualatin.
From the Tualatin River. So I lived right along there. Problem is the mosquitoes were so big back there, they'd carry you off. You could go outside for 10 minutes on your deck and get butchered. And I wasn't going to go out and spend $500 or $600 on one of those machines that zaps them, you know, the propane zappers or whatever. That's a lot of work. And so what I did is I got those little discs. They look like rice patties, you know, like the little sandwich rice patties you get. So you take those and throw them out into the body of water. They're not chemicals, but what they do is they have something that keeps the eggs of the mosquitoes from hatching.
Okay.
So it's got an enzyme in it, and they float out there and keep it. So I'd get a couple containers of these things, and every month or so, because there's always a little bit of water moving out there, I'd huck these things out into the canal. And, you know, always check your local codes, make sure everything's good out there. Just make sure what you're doing with this. But this stuff's non-toxic. But you'd throw it out there, and man, I could tell within a week the mosquito count would be seriously down. Now, the cool part was when we were out having the fire pit out back, I could watch the bats fly overhead.
There you go.
Because the bats knew that was a good feeding ground well. And I'm not trying to take the whole thing out. I'm just trying to make sure that in my backyard, for within a couple hundred yards, I don't have any mosquitoes. So downstream, I don't care. So I would throw them so they would get up in the water, but I'd kind of skip them across the water a little bit so I could get them up by the bank. I didn't want them floating down. I'm not trying to help
you
the
don't
neighbor.
want to lose it.
Yeah, I don't want to lose it. So I'd try to get them so they're hung up into that. The other thing you could do, too, is put a piece of string on it.
Yeah.
You know, little light piece of string, run it through it, tie it off, and then throw it out there so it only goes 20 or 30 feet in one direction, and it sits there and floats.
And stays in your area so
Yeah.
that you're actually...
I'd actually use fishing line, to do that just because you know what it is. And then if you got it tied off to a tree or something like that, you can actually keep it there, and then when it's done, you can pull it back out.
And replace it that way.
Replace it, and that way you're not getting anything. Because I'd worry about the string, actually, now that I think about it. If you did that, it would probably weigh down enough that it might not float and do the thing it's supposed to do.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of weight there when it gets wet. But that's one of those good things you can do for getting those mosquitoes under control. I always hate, when I'm out camping, of course, I load up with all the mosquitoes repellent, but that stuff's not really good for you either.
No.
So
They love me.
They do. They love me too, man. They just tear me up. So, hey, I wanted to give this number out. We got a really special show next week ahead, but give us a call in the studio. So I want to record some calls for next week's show. How do you do that? 503-521-7072. That's 503-521-7072. Call in, leave a message. I'm going to personally call you back and record you. Now, I didn't do very well getting back to a couple people this week.
Okay.
So I'll give you guys a call here. If you left a message, thank you, but we'll get you. And we'll get you on the show next week. So next week is the start of a new generation. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, well, won't delve in. If you want to know more, listen at 159 in the or actually not listen, but go to the Facebook page. 159. You'll see what we're talking about.
Yep. And today, just so you know, today is Saturday. If you're listening to this on the day this came out, we got multiple things going on. We got a ton of media going on right here. So today you have this podcast, hour 1, hour 2, and we're just kind of formatting it like the regular show, so it's not a full hour. Second of all, we've got on KXL on the Radio Northwest Network, we've got a best of show.
It's with Robin Daly.
Okay, so it's Robin Daly getting a best of show. That's awesome. She's getting a little more air on paint. So I think that's her third airing of that one, isn't it?
No, this is only the second airing
that
of
is the
this
second
Robin
of this
Daly.
Robin Daly. Okay, good. So I couldn't remember how many times that's been out there.
Last year we did use her as a best of as well.
Best of as well. So yeah, that's Robin. She's family.
She's always good.
Always, always good. So we've got that going on. Now today I'm in Tri-Cities. Going to be doing
a home show. Well, not a home show, but a show from your hometown.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in the Tri-Cities. So now that I knew that we had a best of show going on the Radio Northwest Network out to all the stations, I get to go do a homecoming show that's just for the Tri-Cities. So if you want to listen to that today, go over to look for KONA AM 610. Google them up. They're Kona News Radio. And if you go over there, listen live from noon to 2 Pacific.
The usual time.
Usual time of the show. You're going to listen to a specific live show. And if you want to call in, give it a call. So we'll be giving those numbers out. So tune in at noon over there for the live show, which will be over on KONA. I'm trying to do that specific for the area. Because, I talk about things we have so many different climates and homes and things, so I'm diving into that kind of desert of the mid-Columbia over there and specific stuff that we're diving into over there. So be over doing that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We more often than not, we have to try and be a little bit more generic when we're talking about how to handle certain things because weather might be different where you're living. But if you want to hear something that's really directed and really kind of for a specific audience, and just because that's a different radio show. It really is.
It is. Because, you think about it here in the Portland metro area where we're at, gutters are on almost every house.
Yep.
Over there, gutters are on 10% of the houses. Over here, we've only got air conditioning in probably 55, 60% of the homes now. If that, maybe less. It could be 45 or 50. Over there, about 90, 95%. Unless you like that 115-degree heat.
I don't know anyone that does.
No. So that's the difference. Over there, they've got different weather than over here. So we're just going to have some fun with that. That's going to be one of those things that we're going to really spend some time on. And I'll be over there with Rob, He's really cool. He's their program director and on-air talent over there as well, so he'll be helping out. So we're going to have a good show today.
Nice.
Looking forward to it. So anyway, we're talking about mosquitoes, and that leads to the next one, barbecues.
Well, yeah, they kind of go hand in hand, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, if I want to be barbecuing out there. So here's the thing. I mean, I've seen so many disasters with barbecues out there. First off, it's a great time to spend some time cleaning it out. Get it dialed in. You can go to the home improvement store and buy a barbecue cleaner. You can make your own with Simple Green or anything to get it cleaned up. But spend some time, depending on the style of barbecue. Now, if you've got one of the green egg style ceramic ones, you're going to clean that completely different than you are your metal Weber that you need to get the grease off of.
Your charcoal or something like that.
Yeah, or even one of your propane. So follow the directions of the manufacturer that you have. But more importantly, you don't want to lose the season off the grates or the cast iron griddle part of it. But man, you got to get that grease and dirt cleaned out of there. And if you've got maybe it's a good time to buy new rocks that you put in the bottom, the stones that you put in if you've got a gas grill. So all those things right there are good for that. So first thing, and I did a Oregon segment on this a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago, but it's one of those things that if you sit there, spend the time to clean it out, man, it goes so much better. You get less grease flare-ups. And, it's funny. I've seen people make so many barbecue disasters, and if JT was in here right now, he'd be laughing, but I can't tell you how many people that, I did these bacon-wrapped smokies I'm going to put on the grill, and I'm like, oh, God. That fat's going to drip down, and you got the towering inferno going. You're going to burn your house down if you're not careful.
Yep.
So be careful with that. I want to talk more barbecue here when we get back. I want to go out to a quick break here. Let's pay some bills real quick. That way we can keep the show on. It's a good idea. Hey, let's get paid. Back in a minute. Hold it. Shh. It's a clinker! Dadgummit. I think we all remember that furnace scene from the Christmas Story. Was that the last time you even thought about the maintenance of your heating and air conditioning system? Hey, it's Eric G from Around the House. Regular maintenance of your heating and cooling system is required to keep it working efficiently and not leaving you hanging. So mention Eric G sent you and get the spring tune-up special for just $119. For more information, visit pyramidheating.com. CCB 59382. Hold it. Shh. It's a clinker! Dadgummit. I think we all remember that furnace scene from the Christmas Story. Was that the last time you even thought about the maintenance of your heating and air conditioning system? Hey, it's Eric G from Around the House. Regular maintenance of your heating and cooling system is required to keep it working efficiently and not leaving you hanging. So mention Eric G sent you and get the spring tune-up special for just $119. For more information, visit pyramidheating.com. CCB 59382. Welcome back to Around the House with Eric G. I'm Eric G.
I'm Dane Vodder.
So now we are in each side of your head. It's just where we want to be.
Am I on the left side or the right?
I don't know. Switch your headphones around.
Send us a message on Facebook. Let me know. Try something new. Yeah, we're having a good time in here. This is what we do on a Saturday. Well, thanks for joining us back. We're talking about barbecuing for a minute here, and I want to make sure that we're safe about this stuff. We always talk about in the wintertime, hey, don't run these things inside, don't do that kind of thing. Yeah.
But I tell you what, it's one of those things that if you keep it clean and just a little bit of maintenance goes so long on a barbecue. If you're going to the home, I'll be honest, if you're going to the home centers and you're buying a propane barbecue or whatever, those have a 2 to 4 year lifespan probably because they're made out of sheet metal, they're low quality. And man, once those things start rusting through, you got a fireball in your hands if you're not careful, especially a propane one, because I've had propane ones that I've dodged the bullet on that I tried to get that extra year out of. Oh dear Lord, that's a mistake. You could burn that whole deck down.
I saw one of my old roommates actually had a barbecue where the entire bottom fell out of it.
I've had that, and I still tried to use it.
Ooh.
Burners were still there, but the problem was all your burning stuff would drop
Everything
down.
that's falling through is just falling to the ground.
Yeah. And if
Not
that's on your
safe.
wooden deck, bad idea.
Bad idea.
Bad idea. So don't be doing that, guys. But anyway, a little bit of cleaning goes a long way. Plus, it's going to, make your food good if you've got some really nasty grease in there. And I've seen some horrific barbecues. So spend some time, clean it up. Don't clean it up on your deck. If you're worried about, take it over on the side. You can put down a piece of plastic or a tarp or something down there. Get it cleaned off, and then you can get that. I'll be honest, I'd go get some clear plastic that's throwaway.
Just get that way you can pick it up, grab it, throw it away, and be done with it.
Just call it a day. Because if you do it on the deck, you're going to get all that grease all over the place. And if you do it out in the grass, it's going to break down, but it's animal grease. It's not like it's motor oil, but just be a little careful. You're going to mess up the area. So be careful with what you're doing. You'll be in more trouble if you go carry it back through the house after you're done. Also, because it's all in your shoes.
And don't put it down the drainage or what. Don't just let it go. Don't do it.
Don't do it. That's the bad part, taking parts in, running through the dishwasher. Sometimes you can get away with it, but sometimes you're going to make a heck of a mess out of things and do a lot more damage to more expensive equipment. So let's be a little safe about that. Speaking of being safe, that's one of those things that if you're going to run that barbecue outside, they do make pads that go on your wood deck. So if you've got a wood deck, they do make a fireproof pad that you can put down there for charcoal or wood fired, that in case you're worried about sparks and stuff dripping down. I'll be honest, with any barbecue, it's a good idea. Keeps that just in case you have a problem. Buys you a little bit of time. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, if I'm running charcoal, and I like to do this at my house because I've got a wood deck that's going to be replaced. It's not in the best of shape. I'll take the hose and just rinse it down real quick and get the wood wet. Yeah, wait, if I get a spark that drives down there, not the end of the world. It's not going to just take off on me. So a little bit of water right before you go to barbecue goes a long way, and you'll keep yourself from burning the place down.
It's a nice, easy, quick step to do to protect your home.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hey, I also wanted to say thanks to everybody out there, too, for tuning into the podcast, because, man, you guys have been stepping it up the last few weeks. I mean, we're at 141,000 listens out there. Thanks, everybody, for doing that. And, we get to see the crazy places that all of you are listening to this podcast from. I mean, if I jump onto the computer right now, and I'm going to do this while we're talking, because this is always a little sketchy when you do this. This is what makes it sound like live radio.
Yep.
But if I go over here to one of our platforms.
Egypt. We've got so many different.
So if I look at who's been listening to our show here in the last week, we'll call it a week. So we'll say the last 7 days here. And I go to top countries, United States, well represented. Next, Canada. Next, UK.
This next one's the surpriser for me because they've been listening to more and more of our podcast over the last month.
You guys in Guadalupe?
Thanks.
You're crushing it. All of you, thanks for listening. Switzerland, thanks for listening. Australia, thanks. Japan, we see ya. Costa Rica, yeah. The Russians, thanks, guys. Just don't mess with our stuff. And Mexico, Poland, Turkey, New Zealand, Bahamas. Hey, Bahamas, let's do a live show.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to come out and
let's come down and do a live around the house show down there. I know you got the beach. I love it there. Been there. Let's go swim with some dolphins and do a radio show down there.
We can still help you fix up your house and get that home improvement stuff done. There's still something you can do.
I know how the Caribbean builds stuff down there. Sweden, my homeland, thank you. And, of course, the Ukraine. And those are just the countries in the last 7 days.
We get about 200 listens a day on the podcast, and I can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah, it's crushing it. Now, cities is getting interesting, too, a little bit. Some of this is cool. We got Portland, Beaverton, Seattle. Somewhat expected.
Yeah.
All you in Brentwood, Tennessee, think I might know who that is. Thank you. Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Thank you. Man, there's Guadalupe doing it again. Knoxville. Thank you. Hilliard, Ohio. Chicago. Salem, Oregon. Salem's local, at least here. And then just the Pacific of California, Paris, Texas, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Los Angeles. All of you guys out there, thank you so much. It's amazing how many people we got going on here in Tennessee.
I was going to say, I saw there's a couple there from Tennessee.
Nashville, Brentwood. Thanks, guys. So
I think I might, we might have an idea.
We got an idea maybe who that could be.
Possibly.
But here's the thing. I just wanted to say, because this is kind of our birthday show today, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you that are listening to this podcast. And thanks to all you people that are going to be listening to us on some new streaming stuff on our new stations coming forward. So I will say, if you are a loyal listener, in our extended radio network outside of Portland, you're going to go, it doesn't really change anything for me. You're right, it doesn't. There'll just be some changes here in Portland, some name changes and stuff out there, but you'll catch the rest of this. So don't sweat that stuff. But anyway, thanks for all you people out there, and I should have planned ahead and maybe had Bob call in or something, but it's all good. It's all good. We love Bob, and he's been really let's give a Handyman Bob update too real quick. He's been doing great. He's been doing his environmental testing stuff where he's testing lead and asbestos and
silica dust.
And silica dust. But actually, he does not doing really silica dust so much because he tests the environment, actually. So he will come in and test products versus job sites.
Okay.
So let me explain that to you and everybody else a little bit better. So if you're testing, you're going to tear a house down in Portland, they require you to test it. So he actually comes in and cuts open the wall, cuts a sample out of the wall, the flooring, whatever needs to be tested, whatever material. So he does the material testing of that. So he'll check to see if that vinyl flooring has asbestos in it.
Yep.
Or he'll test all the different surfaces with these little pens for lead paint. So that's kind of what he focuses on. So he does a great job with that. But Bob's enjoying having the Saturdays off, and you know something? I don't blame him. So, all right, guys. Hey, we're going to wrap this up just a few minutes early because we're going to dive into hour number 2 because we're going to need all that time for that one. So stay tuned. This is the end of hour number 1 of our last, for a long time, Saturday podcast special. We're going to run it over here to hour number 2. Catch you guys in a couple minutes.
We have some exciting news about the Around the House podcast. Do you want to be an Around the House insider? Our premium membership gives you early access to the weekend podcast, exclusive access to our back catalog of shows, special email access to me, Eric G., with your own home improvement questions with a priority email address, plus exclusive new shows and extended content. Click down into the podcast show notes for the link to the Around the House Insider membership for less than the price of a beer at happy hour. Join me for this limited amount of exclusive members. And thanks for listening to Around the House.